Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode in our WCW What If series in TEW 2020. I, of course, am CR Daredevil, calling all the live action as we are 13 days out from World War III. That's right, I did have to change it because I realized that if I left it to be 3 weeks out, our whole thing would be kind of warped. So I'm trying to fix the pay-per-view thing, so that way we have a pay-per-view in the month of November. So we keep our pay-per-views one a month like they're supposed to be anyway. But 13 days out from World War III, where, of course, the big draw of that pay-per-view is the Lethal Lottery tag team actions, or tag team matches that lead to the big battle royal at the end, where the winner gets a shot at the WCW World Heavyweight Championship anytime over the next year. We have the Giant and Bam Bam Bigelow both entered into the World War III thing so far. We don't know who else has been entered yet, but we may find out here tonight. We also got to have some other matches on that show as well, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But in front of 15,413 people at the Hartford Civic Center tonight, we start off not with a promo, but with a match, as the WCW World Television Championship is on the line. Lance Storm defending against Too Cold Scorpio in what should be a very good matchup. And the match goes 12 minutes and 20 seconds, but it does end via disqualification, thanks to Christian Cage running and attacking Too Cold Scorpio. Lance Storm officially making defense number 7 of the television championship. It was one of those things where Scorpio was up top, getting ready to hit his flip leg drop thing, which I don't know what he's calling it in WCW, but he's getting ready to hit his move. Or not flip leg drop, sorry, his 450. And Christian caught him, Christian knocked him off the top rope, but the referee saw it and called for this qualification. 74 rating for the match, 72 from Too Cold Scorpio, 65 from Lance Storm. So there you go. Too Cold Scorpio loses this TV title matchup by disqualification, which means Lance Storm retains the championship. Although, to be fair, I don't know why Lance Storm defeated Too Cold Scorpio by disqualification. That should have been the other way around. So if Christian attacked Scorpio, it should have been Too Cold Scorpio who won the match. I don't know. Whatever. Afterwards, there is a bit of a brawl as Scorpio is getting attacked by Team Canada until Ron Simmons and Rocky Maivia come out to make the save. So potentially seeing a little bit of a storyline shift with the television championship, as it seems like that alliance with Scorpio, Simmons, and Maivia may be getting involved with the TV title. We'll have to see, but there you go. It's 55 here, lost heat for the storyline, but that's fine. We can make that back up. But we'll have to see what happens next with that television championship. See if Lance Storm can keep it around his waist, knowing that he has Team Canada behind him, or if someone can take it from him. Then after that, we get an 85 rated promo where we have Gene Okerlund in the ring, and he calls out the tag team champions Sting and Barry Windham, who come out to the ring. They're, crowd's going crazy for him. They're excited to be here, and they said that they want to be fighting champions. They have a lot of respect for Steve Austin, Diamond Dallas Page, but they have heard that because Steve Austin is focusing on the world title tournament right now, that for now the rematch between Sting, Barry Windham, and Steve Austin and Diamond Dallas Page is not going to be happening. So they want to be fighting champions. They want to prove they're fighting champions just like the former champions were, and so they are issuing an open challenge for World War III. They say they want to fight any tag team here in WCW who wants to step up to the plate and take them on. 85 rating. We'll have to see who steps up for that challenge. Then, 97 rated promo here, as Booker T comes out to the ring, and he calls out Dustin Rhodes. Says, I know you have a match here tonight, as we do have the 2 finals in the semifinal tournament happening tonight. Or the world title tournament happening tonight. So that way we can determine the winners and determine the finals for World War III's world title matchup. 13 days out. So Booker T calls out Dustin Rhodes. He says, I know you have your semifinal matchup here tonight, and I know I can't get involved in the match. I can't come out during the match, otherwise I'll get suspended. But I still want to whoop your punk ass, And when you get eliminated from the tournament here tonight, because I know that Cactus Jack will kick your ass. So when you get eliminated from the tournament here tonight, I want to whoop your punk ass at World War III. Dustin Rhodes comes out, kind of taunting Booker, saying, hey, you will have that match when I say you're going to have that match. And honestly, I have no reason to face you. I've beaten you in the past. I have no reason to face you again. I'm more focused on the world title right now. I'm more focusing on becoming something that you can't be, which is the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And that if you want to try to come after me, you're more than welcome to, but I don't have to give you a match. There's nothing in my contract that says that we have to face one-on-one. And so you can keep obsessing about wanting to fight me so badly, but I'm going to go and get championship gold around my waist. So Dustin Rhodes kind of being a bit of a dick, kind of ducking Booker T's challenge. We'll have to see what happens with that. Then after that, I knew this match wasn't going to do great because Kudo's popularity is kind of taking a little bit of a hit, but I still wanted to have it happen. So 48 rating for this match as Megumi Kudo defends the WCW Women's World Championship against Team Canada's Itsuko Mita, and she defeats her at 803 by pinfall to Kudo Driver, making defense number 1 of her Women's World title in this reign. 48 rating for the match, 48 from Mita, 60 from Kudo. Mita's gimmick is getting a little stale, but that's fine. We can get that back. Match cooled the crowd a little bit, but we'll get that back as well. But yeah, so Kudo getting a successful victory here on Nitro, as we'll have to see what's next for her and that Women's World title. Then after that, 92 rated promo. Dean Malenko didn't do well without a script. Well, that's fine. I like how Dean Malenko didn't do well, but Benoit did. That's kind of weird. Anyway, Piper's backstage in his office when Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit come into the office. Malenko is not happy about the fact that he's the former United States champion now, thanks to what happened with Team Canada with the NWO, that is. And, Benoit's not happy about it either. And Piper goes, listen, I can grant you a rematch, okay? I can grant you a one-on-one rematch. I can ban the rest of the NWO from ringside. I can make sure that they don't get involved, all that kind of stuff. And Malenko's like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Benoit's like, but you said one-on-one. What about me? I was in that match too, and I got cost that match as well. And Piper goes, well, I can't give you a U.S. title match because, you lost. Like, you were never the champion heading into that match. Contract-wise, I have justification to give Malenko a rematch, especially because it was, he was cheated out of it, but you weren't the champion heading into that matchup. So I can't give you a rematch too. I mean, I could give you a match in the future if you earn one, but I can't just, I'm not just going to give you a title match. But what I can do is this. Because I know that the Horsemen are a force here in WCW. And I know you guys have been defending WCW from the NWO. But I also know that outside of Brian Pillman, you haven't really had any championships really lately. I mean, Dean Malenko, not officially a member of the Four Horsemen. So you haven't really had a lot of championships recently. So I had some discussions, and I'm going to have it set up where the Horsemen are going to answer the open challenge from Sting and Barry Windham at World War III. So you can go talk to Flair, talk to Bagwell, and any combination of the three of you, since I know Brian Pillman's still out right now, so any combination of the three of you can step up and accept that challenge, or can step up and have that match with Sting and Barry Windham at World War III. I know it's not the U.S. title, but tag team title, gold. It's still a championship match. And Benoit's like, all right, that I understand that. But just so you know, I'm still going to be coming for the U.S. title. And Malenko turns to him and says, listen, when I win that title back from Steven Regal at World War III, I will gladly give you a title shot. One-on-one title shot. The two shake hands and they walk off. So, two big announcements for World War III right now. It will be a rematch for the United States Championship. Dean Malenko and Steven Regal. This time, the NWO is banned from ringside. They will be suspended if they get involved in the matchup at all. And the tag team title match, or the tag team title open challenge, has been accepted by the Four Horsemen. So it's going to be It's going to be Sting and Barry Windham against the Four Horsemen. We don't know which combination for sure. It'll be either Benoit and Flair, Benoit and Bagwell, or Bagwell and Flair. We'll have to see. But there you go. So two big title matches happening at World War III now. And of course, whichever member of the Four Horsemen that's not going to be competing in that tag title matchup could be entered in the World War III Battle Royal thing. Or the World War III, whatever. Could be entered into World War III, I guess, so to speak. Then after that, we have Mark Merrow, Rikishi Fatu, and Samu coming out to the ring. They are, Mark Merrow gets a microphone and says that he's unhappy that he cost his matchup against Chris Jericho on Nitro in that world title tournament, and that he wants a piece of the flock. He says he's got Fatu and Samu backing him up. Rikishi, Fatu, and Samu backing him up, and he's tired of this. He's tired of these games. He wants to take care of the flock once and for all. This brings out Raven, Al Snow, and Meng, the flock, and Raven says that you know nothing about suffering yet. You know nothing about pain yet. You know nothing about the darkness yet. And that when that time comes, we will put you down. We will put all three of you down if need be. But first, the suffering must continue. 82 rating here, as Mark Merrow, Rikishi Fatu, and Samu seem to want a piece of the flock, but the flock seem a little bit hesitant right now. The Raven's talking about putting Mark through more suffering before it happens, I guess. 94 rating for this promo here, as the NWO have a video package where Steven Regal kind of shows off the United States Championship, brags about the fact that he is the United States Champion, says that he doesn't care about Dean Malenko getting a rematch and the NWO being banned because Steven Regal is one of the smartest in the game, and he knows how to make sure he wins that matchup by any means necessary. And this is the first time we kind of were hearing from Bret Hart after the cage match a couple weeks ago, and he expresses disappointment. He's clearly disappointed right now. He's frustrated about what happened, losing to Ric Flair inside the cage, and says that he doesn't really say anything. Actually, he's just kind of standing there. And DiBiase and Bischoff are kind of hyping up Regal as the U.S. champion, and they're kind of hyping up the fact that Bret Hart will easily will easily take that world championship from whoever wins the tournament at World War III. And Bret Hart's just kind of a little bit disappointed. He's still not he's just kind of quiet and staying there. But DiBiase, Regal, and Bischoff are kind of selling it as if it's not really a thing. So interesting to see with Bret Hart there. What's going on with him? Why is he quite quiet? Is he did maybe the loss to Flair kind of do a little bit more to him than anybody expected? We're not sure, but we'll have to see. Then, in our first of two semifinal matches in the WCW World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, an exceptional matchup that only got an 82. Why the hell did this only get an 82? Lack of an associated storyline. God dang it. Oh, man. Okay. I just thought about that. I gotta fix something here in a second. An exceptional matchup. Cactus Jack defeats Dustin Rhodes 16-21 by pinfall with a double arm DDT. 82 rating for the match. 84 from Dustin Rhodes. 98 from Cactus Jack. So Cactus Jack officially moves on to the world title matchup at World War III, where he will take on the winner of tonight's main event between Steve Austin and Chris Jericho. So we'll have to see what happens there. But Dustin Rhodes knocked out of the tournament. Yeah. What was supposed to happen here, and I forgot to add it in here, what was supposed to happen here is that it was supposed to be a distraction by Booker T, because it wasn't supposed to be Booker T wasn't going to come out, but it was going to be Booker T's music that hit, and it was going to cause a distraction, Dustin Rhodes. So it was going to advance the storyline, but I forgot to add that part on there. So that's my bad. But there you go. So Cactus Jack moves on to the finals of the World Title Tournament. There we go. Gonna make sure I fix that real quick. All right, anyway, get an 85 rating here for this segment after the match, as the Giant is backstage talking to Bam Bam Bigelow and Percy Pringle. And Giant goes, listen, like, we've been talking, you know, I appreciate the offer, but, like, it is randomized at World War III. We can't prove that we're going to end up on the same team. And on top of that, if we, you know, when we win, if we end up on the same team and we win, we're going into the Battle Royal where I'm not going to have a problem tossing you over the top rope. I want that world title. And Pringle goes, well, that's fine. Like, this is more about an alliance, because you two should be destroying everyone in WCW, and you are for the most part, but you're struggling a little bit separately. See, you guys are great as single stars, but you could be even better teaming up and destroying everyone. Just look back at the era we had when Vader was still here in WCW, when Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader were destroying everyone who came in their path. Just think about that. And Giant goes, you know, that's not a bad idea to think about. And so the camera kind of fades off from there. So we might be seeing some sort of alliance with Bam Bam Bigelow and the Giant, which could be very, very, very devastating to WCW if those two end up teaming up together to try to take out the competition. Then we get a backstage segment, 100 rating, as we have Diamond Dallas Page and Steve Austin backstage. Steve Austin's warming up for his matchup here tonight, and Page comes in. He's excited for it. He's like, all right, tonight you're going to win. You're going to go on to World War III. You're going to win the world title. And then after that, we're going to get our tag titles back. And I'm super, you know, he's getting really excited. And Steve Austin's like, what the hell did we talk about? Page's like, what? What are you talking about? Steve Austin goes, we talked about you being calmer. You're getting excited like a little kid. We talked about this. Page's like, you know what? My bad. You're right. My bad. I forgot. I'm trying to be calmer. I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you focus. I'm going to let you prepare for your match. I'm going to go get the beers. Celebratory beers. Because we know you're beating Chris Jericho tonight. So I'm going to go get the celebratory beers. I'll be back later. And we'll celebrate tonight. And he walks off, and Austin's just like, kind of sighs, and then turns and yells, don't you buy that cheap crap again. So 100 rating there as the odd couple thing between Diamond Dallas Page and Steve Austin continues. Then after that 100 rated segment again, we're just knocking them out of the park here to on the show, as Randy Savage comes out and says that, you know, he's the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and it would be smart for him to enter the World War III Battle Royal. But he has other things in mind. Says that he still wants to get his hands on the New World Order, make them pay, and he still wants to get his hands on the Four Horsemen, because they are the ones that put him out. So he says that he's not going to enter World War III because he wants to issue an open challenge to any member of the Four Horsemen or the NWO for World War III. And out comes Ric Flair. And everybody starts getting really excited because they're like, oh man, Flair might answer the challenge. Flair gets in the ring and says, listen, Savage, you've got to stop. I get that you want some sort of revenge on us. I get it. You feel like, you know, we were the ones that put you out for many months, but that was a long time ago. But if you feel like you have to beat us up to get some sort of revenge, then so be it. If you feel like you need to attack us, then so be it. But right now we're trying to focus on defending WCW from the NWO. We're trying to get the NWO gone from WCW for good. So I tell you what, if you want to beat my face in so badly, if you want to beat in the faces of the Four Horsemen so badly, you're more than welcome to do it All I'm asking you, man-to-man, face-to-face right now, is to wait until we get rid of the New World Order. Help us rid WCW of the New World Order, and then you are more than welcome to take on each one of us horsemen and kick our asses if you want. That's fine, whatever. But I want your help to help take out the NWO. And Savage Savage kind of stands there, and he's like, I'll think about it. And he leaves the ring. So Savage throwing out an open challenge to somebody from either the Horsemen or the NWO, and Flair's just begging Savage to try to join up with him, to try to help join up with the Horsemen to take on the NWO. We'll have to see what ends up happening there. And then the main event gets a 91 rating, which kind of sucks because I wish the psychology wasn't hurt, and I also wish that Steve Austin didn't seem off his game. But nevertheless, about that sensational wrestling fantastic heat, Steve Austin defeats Chris Jericho in 16:53 by pinfall the Stunner in a 91 ring matchup to move on to the finals. Steve Austin with the 98, so he would have had a 100 if he didn't seem off his game. Jericho with a 94, really great stuff there. It is kind of funny. I know why this happened. I kind of screwed it up a little bit. I know why this happened. Nobody in the ring had the psychology to take control probably, because what I did is I set this as a slow build, and then I also set this as for them to call it in the ring. And I think Jericho doesn't have the psychology to both call it in the ring and have a slow build. So I think that's what hurt a little bit. If I had kept it as scripted and had him do a slow build, then it probably would have been better. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It happens. Nevertheless, Steve Austin wins, and it moves on to World War III. He'll be going one-on-one with Cactus Jack for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. That's going to be a really good matchup. Cactus Jack, Steve Austin, one-on-one for the vacant WCW World Heavyweight Championship. You see that the Odd Couple storyline advanced with this segment. So what happened was Team Canada came out trying to help out Chris Jericho, and Diamond Dallas Page showed up. He ran out with the beer, stopped, sat the beer down on the stage, and then came running down the rest of the way, and kept Lance Storm and the rest of Team Canada from getting involved in the matchup. And Jericho got distracted enough that he turned around into the Stunner by Steve Austin. So 91 rating there as Steve Austin and Steve Austin and Cactus Jack will be going one-on-one for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in 13 days at World War III. Show itself gets a 93 rating. Let's go. Increase our popularity in 33 regions. Yeah, good stuff there. I can't complain about that. A lot of interesting storylines stuff developing. I mean, is Savage going to join up with the Horsemen to take on the NWO? Why did Bret Hart, seem like he was super quiet and shy about it, or not shy, but he was just super quiet and not really talking at all? What's going to happen in that match between Steve Austin and Cactus Jack? We're going to have a U.S. title rematch at World War III. We're going to have the tag titles on the line at World War III. A lot of crazy stuff happening. Cactus Jack wowed fans with a brand new move during his matchup as well, which is really cool. Ratings for the week, 9.2 million watching Monday Nitro, which got a 93 rating. 3.7 million watching Monday Night Raw, which got an 85 rating. So they turned it up this week, as they had The Undertaker and Jerry Sags defeating the Ultimate Warrior and Shawn Michaels in the main event. I feel like they've ran that match about 15 times. But if it was going to work for him, I guess, so to speak. And Road Warrior Animal defeated Dr. Isaac Yankem to retain the Intercontinental title. So there's that. That is a thing that happened. Saturday night, as usual, not a super strong show, although there was some interesting stuff here. We did have an Alex Wright promo, kind of talking about what's next for him after losing the TV title match. Gene Okerlund had an interview with Jacqueline about Chris Kanyon. Paul Levesque and Sean Waltman had a promo where they're just kind of bragging about, talking about how they feel like it's a little unfair that that Sting and Barry Windham threw out that open challenge and it was automatically accepted before anybody else was able to actually try to accept it. So they, kind of teasing the idea that they might get involved in that matchup at World War III. Medusa and Mary Pachi defeated Dynamite Kansai and Bull Nakano by disqualification thanks to Miyu Miyazaki running in and attacking them. The heels then attack the faces until our women's champion Megumi Kudo made the save. This segment here was supposed to be Bagwell and Benoit with a self promo, but I accidentally put Jericho instead of Benoit. But it was basically announcing that it was going to be Bagwell and Benoit getting the tag title shot. They said they announced that Flair's got other plans for World War III, so it's going to be Bagwell and Benoit getting the shot against Sting and Barry Windham at World War III. Michael Cole with an interviewing BM McKiddle-Cuddy. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but Michael Cole's our third commentator on Saturday night. Jerry Lynn had a self-promo interview where he just bragged about the fact that he's still the Cruiserweight champion and that all these so-called Cruiserweights here in WCW don't hold a candle to him. And then the main event, Rocky Maivia defeated Yoshihiro Tajiri. So there you go. That's Saturday night happening. But that is going to do it for us today. That is a lot of great stuff happening 13 days out from World War III. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens next week on Nitro, the go-home show. See if there's any other matches added or if we find out anybody else who's entered into World War III. And kind of go from there. So thank you all for watching. Definitely appreciate it. And we will catch you all in a future video.